Yes, welcome to the chapter 7, that is an arrays. Actually, as we know, what is an array? What is an array? An array is a collection of element of similar data type which can be referred by a common variable name. Right? So by using this, you are referring similar data elements, similar data type. That means you are referring same data type which stores contiguous locations, right? So then how you are going to be identifying an array? Here it is given as an array. You can write the same definition. What is an array? An array is a collection of element of similar data type which can be referred by a common variable name. Then arrays may be of one dimension or two dimension. Then how you are identifying the arrays of a dimension? Based on the square brackets. So that square bracket consists of index values. The index values specifies the position of an element. Okay, and by using this square bracket, this square bracket is also called as scripts, right? And now we will move to the one dimensional array. Then how to identify an array? We know the syntax of data type variable name. If it is followed by a script, that means a square bracket. If it consists of one square subscript, then it is called as a one dimensional array, right? Let us see. Creation of an array involves three steps. Here it is giving us a new concept, that is arrays can be created by using three steps. First one is declaring the array, second one is creating the memory location, third one is puts value into the memory location. First you have to declare the array, next you have to create, next you have to put the values in that memory location. Okay, let us see how to declare of an arrays. Arrays may be, in Java may be declared in two forms. Form 1 you are seeing data type array name. It is a square bracket, it is terminated with semicolon, it doesn't consist of a size, right? So this, if you are defining with a square bracket with an empty, means you are declaring an array. Otherwise, if form 2, if you observe the form 2, type square bracket array name. So this is also the declaration of an arrays. Now let us see an example. Int number of, float average of, int of counter, float of marks. So what we are doing here, we are doing the declaration of an arrays. Next, our concept is creation of a arrays. After declaration of an array, what we have to do? We have to suppose to create that arrays. So then how to create an array? By using the new data type. If you are using the new keyword, then you are creating the memory of a data type. Okay, data type of array. Let us see, arrays can be created by using the new operator, by using this syntax. So you are seeing the array name is equal to new type of size. Okay, this is the syntax. Array name equal to new type of size. For example, if you see the above example, we have declared int number, float average, int of counter, float of marks. Now I am creating that. Number is equal to new int of 5. Then what is the size of number? I can store 5 elements. Average of average is equal to new float of 10. Then what is the size of average? It is a 10. You can store 5 integer values in number, 10 float values in a average. Okay, so the declaration, the creation of an array can be done by using this single line also. Okay, int number equal to new int of 5. It indicates you are declaring and creation of an array variable. Okay, now if you see the above example, in int number, what I am doing, I am declaring a array variable. It doesn't know where 2 points in a memory, right? Whenever you are creating the memory with a particular memory size, then automatically that variable points to that object. Okay, it is pointing to that memory in an object. So likewise, you can create the memory for an object. Here array is also treating as an object. Everything is an object. Okay, so that is why it is called as a truly object oriented programming language. Got it? And next, initialization of arrays. As we know, what is an initialization of an arrays? So what do you mean by an initialization of an array? The process of assigning value to a variable at the time of declaration. Please observe here. The process of assigning value to a variable at the time of declaration is called as initialization. Arrays can also be initialized by using this syntax. If you observe here, array name followed by the subscript equal to value. For example, here it is giving number of 0 is equal to 35. Then what you are doing? You are assigning the value 35 in the memory location 0. So the value 35 will be stored in the subscript of 0, 0th location, and hence it will be stored in uh, 0th location. Okay, so likewise also you can initialize a set of values to an arrays by using the below syntax, that is type array name of is equal to list of values. How many values exist, according to that array size will be created. Okay, this will be possible by using open curly brace and closing curly brace with list of values terminated with semicolon. Yes, and now here we are seeing an example of an arrays. Okay, now let me check what is the syntax of let us see this example. Int number of equal to open curly brace, I am giving 35, 40, 20, 57, 19. So I am assigning 5 different values, right? So then what is its length? 5. It is also possible to assign an array object to another. We can also assign the array object to another by using int a of is equal to 1, 2, 3. So int b of, where b of means we are declared the array variable, but it has not created, but b is pointing a. How you can say? We are assigning the value of a to b. Okay, so both a and b will have same values. Got it? So this concept is very important. It has been asked in your previous question papers. This question, sorry, in this chapter you are going to have 2 marks question as well as a 6 marks question. Please go through carefully this. Here we are seeing sample example, that is a class array. Next, what is the name of the class? Array. Afterwards, what you are doing? Public static void main string or of. Next, what you are doing? You are declaring the array variable. What is the name of the array variable? Month, days. Now I am creating. How you can say it is creating an array? By using the new keyword. Okay, if you are using the new, then you are creating what is the length you are creating? 12. So as we know, in months it consists of a 31 or appropriate days. Right, now I'm assigning the value month of days of 0th location means it is January. January consists of 31 days. February it consists of 28 days. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Then what is this line of a statement is called? This line of a statement is called as initialization of an array. This line of a statement is called as initialization of an array. Afterwards, I am displaying one output statement. If you see here, system.out.println April as plus months of days of 3 plus days. Okay, so you can write this program like this, and also you can write, instead of initializing one after one, one after one after one, you can improve that program by using the improved version like this. Let us see class auto array. What is the name of the class? Auto array. Now you are doing the main method. This is a public static void main string args is the main method, and open curly brace. Now you are declaring and initializing the value. So based on this, 31 is stored in 0th location, 28 is first location, and so on, right? Then we are have to identify the length of this array, and afterwards I am directly displaying April in the month days of 3. So month days of 3 means in 0th location 31, first location 28, second location 31, and third location it means an April. Okay, April consists of 30 days, it will be displayed. Now one more program here we are seeing, that is class average. Here we are using the main method public static void main string args. Afterwards I am using the double nums. In the double nums, please observe here I am initializing the value. Then what you are initializing the value? 10.1, 11.2, 12.3, 13.4, 14.5. Then what is the size of nums? 1 2 3 4 5, total is 5 elements, right? In 0th location 10.1 is there, in first location 11.2 is there, in second location 12.3 is there, in third location 13.4 is there, and fourth location 14.5 is there. Okay, now I'm taking the double result is equal to 0. Okay, yes. Now let us see here what we are doing. Okay, so we want to calculate the average. Then now if I want to calculate the average, here the result we have taken, we have to sum that value, right? For that I'm using one counter variable. This counter variable, if you are using the arrays means, then you have to use, if you are using one dimensional array means you are using single sorry, one for loop. If you are using double sorry, two dimensional array means you are using nested for loop. Okay, got it? Yes. For this, for I is equal to 0, I less than 5. Why it is a 5? Because the length of an array is 5. If it is condition is true, it will enter this loop. Right? Result is equal to result plus nums of 5. So what is the result of initial value? 0. 0 plus nums of 0 location 10.1. 0 plus 10.1, 10.1. Where it will stores? Result. Got it? Now I am having once again control where it will go. It doesn't goes here, it will come here. Okay, I incrementation. After the I incrementation, I become 1 less than 5 condition true. Once again it will enter here, result already 10.1. now nums of 1 value is 11.2. so 10.1 plus 11.2, it will be added and it will be resulted. This process will continue until unless the condition false. Afterwards I'm displaying the average in your output statement itself only. Okay, what is the total summation is exist in your result and I'm printing here. Okay, now we are seeing one more program related to the minimum and maximum to calculate the minimum value and to calculate the maximum value in the list of an array. Okay, for this I'm declaring the class min max. Next, public static void main string aux, it is a main method. Now I am declaring the variables. Then what is the size of a nums? It is a 10. What is its size? 10. Okay, int min comma max. Int min comma max is exist. Nums of 0, you are storing 99, 1 minus 10 and so on you have stored. First, for calculating this I am doing min is equal to max is equal to nums of 0. What is the nums of 0 value? 99. Now I am writing the for loop. For int I is equal to 1. Why it is 1? Already nums of 0 value is stored. I am starting from 1 less than 10. Okay, why it is 10? It consists of 10 values. Now 1 less than 10 condition true, it will enter into the block nums of 1 less than minimum value nums of 0, that is 99. What is the value of nums of 1? Minus 10. Minus 10 less than 99, condition is true, then minimum is equal to nums of 5. In minimum which value it will store? Minus 10 will be stored. Okay, next one more condition I am checking, nums of 1, that is minus 10 greater than max. Greater than max. What is the max? 99, right? Whether minus 10 is greater than 10? No, false, it skips. And once again it will come to the I incrementation. I become 2, 2 less than 10 condition true, it will enter into the block and once again it will check. Okay, nums of 2, what is the value of nums of 2? This is less than minimum value, it consists of minus 10. Whether it is true, false, it will skip and it comes here. Nums of 2 is this one, right? This value is greater than max. In the max it consists of 99. Whether it is true? True. Then now the new max becomes 1,123,000. Okay, so based on this minimum and maximum value will be displayed. Okay, according to the list minimum and maximum value display. This process will continue until unless the condition fails. Okay, yes. Now the improvised version of the earlier program is we are initializing the values by using array initialization and I am taking min comma max and doing the same process. If I do the same process, I am getting the minimum value and maximum value and I am printing that minimum and maximum value. Okay, now it is a two-dimensional arrays. If it is a two-dimensional array, then it consists of two scripts, two square brackets. Two square brackets indicates first square bracket indicates the rows and second square bracket indicates the columns. Is equal to new int of 4 comma 5. It indicates 4 rows and 5 columns. Okay, so this is the creation of two-dimensional array. Instead of that, you can directly mention the size followed by semicolon. This is also acceptable. Got it? Here we have created 4 rows and 5 columns. Got it? And here the memory representation of 4 rows and 5 columns of a two-dimensional array. Yes, let me see a sample program here. Class 2D array. Here main method public static void main string args of int 2D of new int of 4 5. So what we have created? We have created two-dimensional array with this row size of 4 and column size of 5. Right? If you are taking the two-dimensional array, what we have to be note, we were definitely getting two-dimensional, sorry, nested for loop concept, right? So for this, we have to define the counter variables. That is I comma j is the counter variables and k is also we are taking for the processing, and it is assigned as 0. Now let you see for I is equal to 0, I less than 4. Why it is 4? Because it consists of 4 rows, right? Condition is true, it comes here. J is equal to 0, j less than 5. Why it is 5? It is columns, right? So 2D of ij. What is ij value? 0, 0. 0, 0 location, what you are storing? 0 value. Because k consists of 0, right? Next, you are incrementing the k value. Now k becomes an 1. Now it will comes to the j incrementation. J become 1, 1 less than 5. 0 1 location you are storing 1, and it comes here 2 0 2 location you are storing 2. It comes here 3 0 3 location you are storing 3. It comes here 4 4 0 4 location you are storing 4. It comes to 5 5 less than 5. Condition false. If it is a condition false, it escapes the inner for loop and comes to the outer for loop, because outer for loop condition is not false, right? Now I become a 1 1 less than 4 condition true. Once again it will enter j is equal to 0 0 less than 5 condition true. Now I am storing the value in 1 0, that is 5, because in k it retains the value as a 5. Now I am incrementing the value of k, it become a 6. Okay, likewise it will evaluate after this for loop. What we have done, we have read and store the value. Please observe here in these two nested for loops, what we have done, we have read and we have stored, right? Now to display the value again, once again I am writing the same logic. To display the nested for loop, I am using the same logic. By using this same logic, I am displaying the outer statement. Okay, system.out.println, what happens, it will display the value in these locations. Whatever the location value you have stored, that value will be displayed. Okay, while displaying, after the first element I am giving some space. After the first element I am giving the space. After the second element I am giving the space. After the third element I am giving the space. Fourth element space. Fifth element space. If the condition is false, it has to move to the next line. Okay, system.out.println becomes the control has to move to the next line. Now irregular arrays are variable size arrays. This concept is also very important. These kinds of programs are very important in your graphics program. Okay, so here the multi-dimensional arrays is called as arrays of arrays. It is also possible to declare array as follows. So if you declare the arrays like this, you just go through it. You have to give more attention on this, because this is a very important question. Okay, int x x square bracket means it is a two-dimensional array. Please observe here, new int of 3 bracket. Then what does it mean? We require 3 rows and we are not specifying the how many columns. We require 3 rows, we are not specifying columns. And in the next line, what I am doing, x of 0 is equal to new int of 2. So in the first row I require 2 columns. Got it? In the first row I required 2 columns. Got it? So then what is the location? If you see here the picture, you are clearly identifying this location is x of 0 0 and x of 0 1. It is consist of 2 columns. Got it? And x of 1 in the second row, how many columns we required? 4 columns. So it is 1 0, 1 1, 1 2 and 1 3, because array starts at 0 and ends at n minus 1. And x of 2, that is the third row, we required 3 columns. Okay, it starts at 2 0, 2 1 and ends with 2 2. Got it? So why these kinds of variable array size is required, and it is better to, we are using this concept for saving the memory. Okay, so if you are developing in a graphical application programs, at that time we have to save these kinds of a memory. If you save that kinds of a memory, then we can create an efficient graphics. Got it? Yes. So here the same explanation is given. Now let us see the sample program relevant to this irregular arrays. Now, if you see here class name, what is the name of the class? 2D again. Now I am doing your main method. How we are declaring the main method? Public static void main. Public static void main string args of. Okay. Next I am declaring the two-dimensional array. Here we are not specifying any size, but I am here specifying the row size. How many rows we require? 4 rows. I am not specifying the column. In the first row, how many columns are required? 1 column. In the second row, how many columns are required? 2 columns. In the third row, how many columns are required? 3 columns. In fourth row, how many columns are required? 4 columns. Got it? So likewise, this irregular arrays has been declared. Now we are processing the data. If you want to process, you have to use the counter variables, that is I comma j comma k is equal to 0. For I is equal to 0, I less than 4 condition true, it enters into the inner for loop. J is equal to 0, j less than I plus 1, 0 plus 1, 1. Okay, 0 less than 1 condition true. If condition is true, it will enter into the block. Now 2d of I j, what is I value? 0, j value 0. Then what is the k value? 0. In the 0 0 location, what you are storing? 0. Now you are incrementing the k value. Now k value is 1. Okay, afterwards control will come here, j become 1, 1 less than 1, false. It will skip and comes to the outer for loop. In outer for loop, I value become incremented. Now I be less than 4 condition true, it will enter into the for loop. J is equal to 0, j less than I plus 1. Now 1 plus 1 2, so it will repeat for the 2 times. Why we have write here the I plus 1? Please observe here. What I have declared here, I required in first row 1 column only, in second row we required 2 columns, in third row we required 3 columns, and fourth row we required 4 columns. Likewise, in our processing we have written j less than I plus 1. Now we are storing here the values. After storing, what we have to do? We have to definitely display, right? To displaying the values, we are using nested for loops. Okay, the same statements are repeating, but here I am displaying the output by using the system.out.println statement, right? 2d of ij plus blank space. After displaying the value, it gives a blank space, right? And if the condition fails, automatically it will comes to the new statement. Okay, sorry, new line. Got it? And you have to check how many open curly braces are exist and how many closing braces are exist. Clear? Yes, here open, here close, here open, here close, here open and here close. Got it? Yes. So that is uses of irregular arrays. Already we have explained. This kind is very much essential to save the memory of an array. Okay. Yes. Now here it comes. Our next topic is multi-dimensional arrays. Then what is a multi-dimensional array? If an array variable consists of more than one script means square brackets. If it consists more than one square bracket means, then it is multi-dimensional array. Got it? Yes. I hope you have understand what is a multi-dimensional array. If an array consists of more than one square bracket, then it is called as a multi-dimensional array. Here we are defining like this. This syntax is like this. And for example, here we are taking int multi-dimensional of 3 square bracket is there, and you are creating that multi-dim variable of integer type. It consists of 4, 10, 3. Then what does it means? It means, please observe here, you have to go leave this, come here. What does this two bracket indicates? It indicates rows and it indicates columns. How many rows and how many columns? 10 rows, 3 columns. Then what does this 4 indicates? 10 rows, 3 columns of 4 table we required. 10 rows, 3 columns of 4 table we required. We require 4 tables which consist of 10 rows and 3 columns. Got it? So then we can initialize the multidimensional array by using open curly brace and followed by the square brackets followed by the comma, and it also terminated with closing curly brace followed by semicolon. And now let us see example. Okay, please observe here, it is a two-dimensional array. Now you have to suggest how many rows and how many columns. Okay, yes. Now see, class squares. What is the name of the class? Squares. Now what I am doing? Public static void main string args of. It is a main method, right? Now you are declaring the two-dimensional array. In the two-dimensional array, you have not specified any size. You are directly initializing the value. How many rows consist of here? Here it consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rows. How many columns I am getting? 1 and 1. 2 columns. Got it? 10 rows, 2 columns. 10 rows, 2 columns. Okay. So after initializing this, we have to see here int I comma j. Then what is int I comma j? It is an counter variable. For this, let me see here, for I is equal to 0, I less than 10 condition true, j is equal to 0, j less than 2 condition true, y here 10, 2, 10 rows and 2 columns, right? So now I am displaying the value. So in 0, 0 location, 0, 0 location, it has stored 1. After displaying the 1, I am giving the blank space here, okay? Next it will comes to the j incrementation, j become 1, 1 less than 2 condition true, 0, 1. In 0, 1 location which value it is exist? 1. Okay, so afterwards it will give blank space. Here it is a blank space is exist. Once again it will comes to the j incrementation, j becomes 2, 2 less than 2 condition false. It escapes. Now the control will goes to the system.out.println automatically. Where the control is exist here, it will come to the next line. Okay, afterwards it will come to the outer for loop. Now I become increment, I is 1, 1 less than 10 condition true. Once again it will enter into the inner for loop. In the inner for loop, j is equal to 0, j less than 2 condition true. Once again you are displaying that value. Okay, likewise we can execute this program. So here one more example is exist to explaining the multidimensional array. Yes, you just explain me what we are actually doing. Okay, class matrix. Class matrix. Here the main method public static void main string args of. Now what we are doing? We have declared and we are initializing. How many rows and how many columns exist? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows and 4 columns is exist. Now we are storing this value. Okay. For I is equal to 0, I less than 4 condition true, j is equal to 0, j less than 4 condition is true. Now what we are doing? We are displaying the value of two-dimensional array, that is 0, 0 location. What is the 0, 0 location? 0 into 0, it is a 0.0. Why it is 0.0? Because we have declared m of square brackets as a double data type. Clear? Afterwards, j incrementation, j become 1, 1 less than 4, condition true, 0, 1. In the 0, 1 location, 1, 0 is there. 1 into 0, 0. Okay, so here all the zeros we are getting. Okay, just observe here and you make a note and you prepare for it. You are getting the output like this. Okay, next One more example is exist here three-dimensional array. Please observe here. If you observe here, we are having three square script. What is the class name? 3D matrix. You have to save 3D matrix.java. Afterwards, public static void main string args of. Okay. Afterwards, int 3D of new int 345. Okay. Now int I comma j comma k. So what does it indicates? 4 rows of 5 columns of 3 tables is required. We required 4 rows and 5 columns of 3 tables. Okay. For this, what we are doing, we are taking, if it is a tables, if please observe here, if it is increase the square script, where one more counter variable will becomes and loop become inner loops. Okay, deeper loops. So it will be possible for I is equal to 0, I less than 3 condition true, j is equal to 0, j less than 4 condition is true, k is equal to 0, k less than 5. Why it is 5, 3, 4, 5? 3 tables of 4 rows and 5 columns, right? So it will comes here int of 0, 0, 0. Okay, 0, 0, 0 you are storing as 0 into 0 into 0. And next where it comes k plus plus. Now k become 1 less than 5 condition true, 0 0 0. So if you observe this, first table consists of all the elements as 0. When it comes to the second table I incrementation, at that time first it will give 0, later onwards these values will be possible. Okay, here you are processing and storing, and by using this nested for loop you are displaying the value. Please go through it. Okay, I'm keeping this with for you for 1 minute. You just try to copy down and you just try to solve it. Okay, yes, okay. And there you are understanding, right? If you have any query, please put your query in WhatsApp. Got it? And next one is alternative array declaration syntax. Then how we can declare the array? We can declare array as we have learned from our through from this slide, first slide to till now. We can declare an array by using data type followed by name of the variable followed by the square brackets equal to or semicolon, and the next name of the variable square bracket is equal to new data type of size, right? So here we are following the same syntax for the declaration, and you can declare like this. And here the size is 3, you are creating int of a2 is equal to new int of 3. You are also doing the same like this. Even if you are using like this, it is also an alternative array declaration syntax. Here the two-dimensional array also you can declare like this, or else you can declare like this. It is also similar to the two-dimensional declarations. Okay, now this is a very essential concept, assigning array reference. This question is asking for 6 marks. Please observe here, whenever you are assigning one array reference to the another array, then it is accessing its value and it's also accessing its locations. Okay, so for this you have to write this theory, and this example is very important. Let me check what is the topic. Assigning array reference. So you are assigning the reference address of values of arrays to another array. Then what happen? Whatever the array is referring, that a referring variable also access the entire referred variable object. Okay, so here the theory is given the same thing as with other object. Please observe here, as with other object, when you assign one array reference variable to another, you are simply changing. What you are doing then? You are simply changing what object that variable refers to. We have to see what is that object of a variable refers to. You are not causing a copy of the array to be made, nor are you are causing the content of one array to be copied to other. You are not copying, you are referring. Okay, you are not copying, you are just referring. Please observe here. To understanding this more, you have to pay more attention on this example. Now let us see what is the example. Class assign ref. Okay, you are as clear given the class name as an ref. Okay, next you are writing the main method. Public static void main string args is a main method. Now you are writing the int I. So you have declared the variables. Now you are creating the number one array variable. What is its size? 10. Number two array variable. What is its size? 10. Now you are storing the value. Okay, by using this for loop you are storing the value in first array. Okay, for I is equal to 0, I less than 10 condition true, because it is one dimensional array, right? Nums of 0, 0th location, what you are storing? I value. What is I value? 0. In 0th location 0, first location 1, second location 2, third location 2 3, fourth location 4 5 5 6 6 7 7 8 8 9 9. Okay, whether a 10 is exist? No. When I become a 10, 10 less than 10 condition is false. Okay, so likewise you have stored the values in nums1. Now you are storing the values in nums2. The nums2 while storing, I am doing the same thing. It will store in the form of negative, -0, -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on. After storing, you are displaying the values of num1. Okay, for that I am writing the same for loop, but while displaying I am using the system.out.println, system.out.println of nums1 of I. Afterwards I am displaying the values of number 2 array. Okay, for I is equal to 0, I less than 10 condition true, nums2 of I, you are displaying the value of that array. Okay, that is -0, -1, -2, -3 and so on. It will be displayed. Now please observe here. Now what you are doing, you are referring number 1 through from number 2. Why? Because you have assigned nums1 in nums2. You are assigning a nums2 as a nums1, then nums2 will point nums1 locations. Okay, so you are assigning a reference, right? Now let me see here. For I is equal to 0, I less than 10 condition true, nums2 of I, so it will gives positive value of 0 1 2 3 4 and so on. Afterwards, now you are modifying this location value in nums of 2, nums2 of 3. In third location it consists of 3, right? Yes, if it is a 3, then you are replacing that 3 with 99. After replacing that with 99 through from nums2 variable, you are displaying the values of nums2 by using nums1. So by referring this with nums1, it is also modifying the nums1 location value. So if you display here, now it will gives nums1 of 3 as 99. So that is why it is, because it is assigned, it is referring. Got it? So if you run this program, nums1 is this, nums2 is this. Here nums2 after assignment, whatever the negative values exist, it become a positive because it is referring the nums1. After the nums2, you are modified the third location as 99. If you display the nums1, it is affected because it is referring, right? So this reference is also modifying. Okay, so that is your program related to that. That is very very essential topic, and we are now using arrays length to identify the total number of total length of an array. We are using some built-in function. Here the length is also one of a function. By using that length, we are accessing the size of an array. Okay, so to understanding this, please observe here, int a size is equal to a dot length. Then what is a? This is an array. Length indicates the size of this array variable. Okay, for better understanding this concept, let us see here a sample program. Class length is there. Public static void main string args exist. Int a1 of is equal to new int of 10. Int a2 of is equal to 3 5 7 1 8 99 44 minus 10, and int a3 of is equal to 4 3 2 1. Got it? Yes, for doing like this, you can see what is the length of a1, 10. What is the length of e2? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. We should know, right? So to know that, we are using by calculating like this, but by using this length property, it will identify the length. Okay, int a3 is equal to, we have stored only 4 elements, so its size is 4. Now I am displaying here a1 dot length, a2 dot length, a3 dot length. In the a1 dot length, its size is 10. In a2 dot length, its size is 8. In a3 dot length, its size is 4. Clear? Yes. It is not displaying the values. If you want to display the values, then what you have to do? You have to write 3 for loops for a1, a2 and a3. And according to the size, you have to display the value of that size. Okay. And next our concept is for each loop. So this is also very important topic. Already you are familiar with for each. You have learned in your Linux, right? It is also same. We are using for each style loops in a Java also. For each style loop is designed to cycle through a collection of objects. So by using this, it will repeated till to the collection of objects such as an array. So how long it will be continue? Till to its present the value in an array. And also it is strictly follows a sequential fashion from start to finish. Also it doesn't jumps, it will continue from start to finish. So this for loop, for each loop, unlike some languages such as C sharp, here C hash is given, C hash stands for C sharp. Now we are going to be learning in your web technology. Like that, we are using the keyword as for each. Java adds for each capability by enhancing for statement. In C sharp, you are using for each statement by using keyword for each. But in Java, this for each version can be referred by using for also. If you are using the for with these syntax, please observe here, if you are using the for with these syntax, then it is called as enhanced for loop. This is called as for each version of a for loop is also called as enhanced for loop. Then what is its syntax? For type iteration value colon collection. Here the collection is always an array element. Okay, array of an objects. Got it? Well, how many list present in that object, based on that this iteration value will be executed, and here it consists of a block of statement. Okay, already you are familiar. Once again we are explaining. So this is very essential. Type, return type is important, data type, and here the iteration value, increment values, as well as colon followed by the collection. Okay, to understand this better, let me see a sample example. Here the same thing we have explained. Let us see an example. Here int nums is equal to we have stored, right? So what is the length of this nums? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Total 10 elements. Now I am declaring one normal integer variable. What is the normal integer variable? Sum is equal to 0. Okay, now I am writing enhanced for loop. For int x, I am taking the counter variable. Okay, so how long this counter variable should be evaluate? Till to the nums. So what is this nums? Set of array values. So then what is its length? 10. So this block of statement repeatedly execute how long? Till to the last element. Automatically it will take for the first element. Here the sum plus equal to x means the sum is equal to sum plus x, right? That is 0 plus 1. It takes the first element in the x, that x will be stored in one first element. 0 plus 1 is 1, and automatically it will move to the next element. Now the control comes here, and x becomes an 2 because it assigns through from this list of array. Okay, so and so on, it will execute till to the condition fails. Okay, here the sample example is given. Please observe here. Class for each, public static void means main string args of, and int nums of, we have stored 10 elements. Next int sum is equal to 0, and we are doing the same process. Now x colon nums, so what is its length? 10. So which element will be assigned for the x? First element. After the assigning the first element, you are displaying that value, that is 1. Sum plus equal to x, you are processing. Now what is our processing? 0 plus 1 1. Okay, after this body of a statement, automatically control comes here, automatically control moves to next element, and whatever the element is present is assigned to x, and you are displaying that x value. Okay, now that x value is 2 and 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, likewise automatically control moves to the next element. Whatever the element is assigned is a moved element is assigned to a x, and it will be processed. After the processing this, a value is exist in sum, and we are going to displaying that sum value. The summation is 55. Got it? Yes. Okay, now iteration over multidimensional arrays. Iterating over multidimensional array, enhanced version of for also works on multidimensional arrays. You can also use it for in your multidimensional array also concept. The same concept here also explaining, it is also called as an arrays of an arrays. So you can also use this as next array, not an individual element. It always refers the next. After assigning that, it tries to refer for the next. So it is using iterating over multidimensional array. Let me see here. Concept is the same. Okay, there is nothing is there. The iteration variable must be a reference to a one dimensional. It is referring as a one dimensional array. Now let us to a better understanding this concept, let us concentrate on this sample program. Now what is the name of the class? For each. Okay, for each 3 main method, sum is equal to 0, nums of int 3 5. So 3 rows and 5 columns. To execute this, we are taking 3 rows and 5 columns, we are processing, we are getting some values. Right? Clear? If you observe, we are using enhanced for loop. If it consists of one script means it is a two-dimensional array. If it is not having any script means it is one-dimensional array. Okay, please observe here. If you observe here, I'm trading y value. Here we have declared int, and I'm taking it as a counter value. While counter value, whatever the value is they exist, it will be assigned here. Got it? So here whatever you are processing, that value is stored in y, and you are displaying the y value, and you are summation. After the summation, you are getting that value. Okay, please observe here. This is an enhanced for loop, right? In the enhanced for loop, if you use one script means it is a two-dimensional array. If it consists of a two script means it is multi-dimensional array. Got it? If it doesn't consist any square bracket means it is one-dimensional array. Okay, it always refers an set of an objects, set of elements which are resides in your array variable. Got it? Yes, hope you understand this concept. Please look into this. This is a very essential topic. Okay, clear? Shall I move? Okay. So here the same explanation as given. I don't want to give further explanation. And applying the enhanced for, then where you are applying this enhanced for, this kinds of enhanced for loop is required for sequential fashion. Sequential means it has to check continuously. A large number of algorithm requires exactly this mechanism. This enhanced for loop mechanism is required a large number of mechanism. One of the most common is searching. In your searching, these kinds of enhanced for loops are important. For example, the following program uses a for loop to search an unsorted array for a value. So here one more program is exist for unsorted values. For unsorted values, these kinds of enhanced for loops are required, and many of algorithms are also required. Okay, and also it is used for please observe here, are given computing the average, finding the minimum or maximum set, and also for searching for the duplicates, and so on. Okay, here a sample program is exist. Let us see this sample program, and you will identify. Okay, so here the main method is given. Here the nums, see one dimensional array 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. The length of nums is 8. Here we have taken the value as a 5. Boolean found, I am taking boolean variable. Here the boolean variable is exist. I am taking it as a variable as a found, and I am assigning it as a false. Now I am writing one for loop, right? for each loop I'm using for int x. So what is the assignment nums? It will automatically takes the first element, right? I'm checking x equal to val. What is the val? 5. I'm comparing whether 6 is equal to 5. False, it skips. Okay, once again it will comes to the next element. Whenever the control moves to here means, whenever the control moves to here means automatically it refers to the next element in a array that assigned to the x 8. And once again 8 is exist, 8 equal to 5. False, it will skip. Once again it will come here. And 3 equal to 5. No. Once again 7 equal to 5. No. 5 equal to 5. Condition true. If condition true, it will enter here found true and break. It terminates from the loop and it comes here and finds if found. If of found means true. If of true equal to true means value found. You are displaying the output as value found. So likewise, these enhanced for loops are using for searching and sortings, maximizing maximum and minimum values, gradings, and so on. Okay, these techniques are very important. We hope you understand this concept. We will continue in the next session.